Previously on Gears.
All right, listen, time to turn our attention to the world of Formula One. As always, it's brought to us compliments of Pirelli and Tiger Wheel and Tire. You can stand a chance to win a trip to any 2014 Formula One Grand Prix. To stand a chance, go and visit twt.to. There was a great interview that has come out recently by Stefano Domenicali, all right, who is the team principal, of course, at the Ferrari Formula One team. Is there shooting going on? No, fortunately not. The Ferrari Formula One team. And, well, he's come out saying quite a few different things. First of all, the thing that he came out was to clarify that he believes Fernando Alonso crossed the line where he was, well, basically, mocking the team for their lack of progress. And he says, that should be kept behind closed doors. But everything seems to be settled on that front as well. He also came out and said that Ferrari were very much keeping their eye on Robert Kubica. And they wanted Robert Kubica to come and join Ferrari and partner Fernando Alonso. Now, for those of you who don't know, at the beginning of the 2011 season, Robert Kubica had a horrific accident in a rally, which severed his right arm, his right hand, basically off. And for those who have listened to me over the years, you would have heard me say that when I saw the injuries and what had happened, I said, Kubica will never get back into Formula One. We know he's been doing some simulating testing with Mercedes-Benz. We know he's done some rallies, etc., etc. But Formula One has a different physicality to it. And, it's very, very sad to say, but I still don't believe he will be back in Formula One. And Stefano Domenicali has come out and says, unfortunately, I don't think he will be back because with this physical problem, he would struggle in a certain limited situations which require reactivity. It is a shame. Very, very sad. But I don't see Robert Kubica coming back as well. Staying with Fernando Alonso, of course, after the Korean Grand Prix, he's now the world champion leader when it comes to points. He's got the most points ever achieved in Formula One.
Wow.
And we've got a picture of his helmet up on the screen. You can look at, he's got a very celebratory helmet. I think it's 1,571 points. Now, it is a record. But it's also a strange record because if you look at the points scoring system, how it's changed over the years, you've got to try and put it into some context of how relevant it really is. Because if you raced in the whole of the 1990s, and you're only scoring 8 points for a victory, then, is it really that relevant? As to what you were doing. So I think it's terrific. There is a picture of the helmet, 1571. Yes, and it is a record. But I mean, if you were scoring 10 points your whole life and now you're scoring 25 points for a win, it makes a
huge difference.
It's quite a difference. Anyway, it's a beautiful helmet that he'll be wearing this weekend at the Indian Grand Prix. Now, let's talk about the Indian Grand Prix. I spoke about my reservation about the Korean Grand Prix, whether or not it'll still be on the calendar in 2014. Well, I think we've got the same problem with the Indian Grand Prix. Now, the Indian Grand Prix is missing from the 2014 schedule officially. And that is because Bernie Ecclestone wanted it earlier on in the season. And I suppose from a logistical point of view, because you're going to be in Malaysia, you're going to have China, you've got Australia, you might as well have India because it's, it sort of works around there. But India have said, no, we don't want to have a Grand Prix early in the season. But that's not the only problem. There have been some disputes over tax in the country. Other factors have also played a big problem with the Indian Grand Prix. Not least the fact that the attendance out of 100,000 people, in the first year there were 95,000 people, and last year there were 55,000 people. So this year, the amount of people that they are expecting for the whole Grand Prix is only 50,000 people as well. And you sit there and go, well, you know what, why don't you go back and give it to a place where you know you're going to get 100,000, 120,000 people, because the people are very, very excited about it as well. So this could be the last Indian Grand Prix for the foreseeable future. Moving away from that to McLaren Managing Director Jonathan Neal has hailed Kevin Magnussen and Stoffel van Duin as mouth-watering prospects, saying the duo are part of their plans over the next few years. I know that they're trying to get Magnussen into the Marussia team. He won the Renault, the Formula Renault 3.5 litre title, with Belgian Van Duin finishing second. So, you've got to believe that if you look at the likes of the Marussia, where the second seat is available, the first seat, of course, is taken by Jules Bianchi with the might of Ferrari behind him. Now, Max Chilton's trying to stay in there. But can he stay in there when you've got the likes of McLaren and their might to sit there and say, we want either Stoffel van Duin or we want Kevin Magnussen? So watch out for those two names in the future. They look very, very promising as well. Ross Brawn has ruled out the push then cruise races for 2014, which is let's just hope that that he is correct. He's come out and said, and I quote, "From what we've done modeling and simulation, I think there will be a difference between qualifying and the race. Because in qualifying, you'll be controlled by the fuel flow rate, and in the race, you'll be controlled by the overall fuel amount," which is all very, very technical. But let's just hope that next year we don't have this sort of economy run style Formula One. And finally, for this afternoon, Pirelli have called for more testing that it needs for the ahead of the 2014 campaign. I think it's just logical sense. The Italian manufacturer is already scheduled a test with the 2011 McLaren model in November, but they will need a few more tests as their tyres need to come to grips with the V6 turbo engines. Paul Hembury came out and said, "We certainly do need to do some work and a lot more compound work. We want to change a little bit in the sense of our philosophy." So hopefully there will be more testing before the 2014 season starts next season. All right, that's a look at our Formula One for this afternoon. Of course, as always, brought to us compliments of Pirelli and Tiger Wheel and Tyre, and you can stand a chance to win a trip to any 2014 Formula One Grand Prix. All you have to do is go and visit www.twt.to.
GearsOnBalls.co.za with Sasha Martinengo and Daisy Fensham. Weekdays 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.